Hey guys, welcome to my very first video on my case build. So what you see here is the subframe from a tripac, and inside of here we had a TK270M, little two-cylinder diesel engine made by Ingersoll Rand. Well, actually it's made by Yanmar. So we have that baby hanging up on the John Deere, and I'm just going to clean it up real nice. And then we're going to get to painting that. So this was quite the bugger to get out of this frame. And so while I go clean up, I am going to set this camera down on a tripod. Alright, so I just finished sanding down the oil pan. It was the most rusty part, so I'm going to go around this engine just so I can show you guys what this really looks like. Try to be steady, not too wobbly. So there's our antifreeze intake. I got to do a little bit of wire brushing on that, and down there we have our outlet, and there's the purge valve. Now, I'm not really good with diesel mechanics. Like, I wouldn't say I'm a professional at all. I understand the concept of them, so it's going to be really fun to try to figure this thing out. There's my exhaust. I had to cut it off in order to get it out. And down there, the ring you see is where my starter belongs. Now, my starter is kind of pooched out, so I'm going to be ordering a new one of those. And then on the other side, I see this nice little angle bracket. So if we could just focus in there, and I am guessing I'm gonna have to put an alternator on there. Usually these engines don't require an alternator if they're running off of the truck's battery, but since this will be running off its own, so we will have to put an alternator right on that bracket. But lucky for me, I got lots of pulleys to go. Then we'll move around. Oh yeah, and it looks like that little plug that's screwed in there is going to be where I'm going to put my engine heat sensor. So these bolts on my muffler or exhaust valve are going to have to be replaced. I broke them off. I tried undoing the muff or exhaust first, and that didn't go so well, so I ended up just cutting everything off. So on this top triangular bracket, that's where the air filter usually sits on. But I took that off just for ease of cleaning. And now if anyone can tell me what that is, to me it looks like it would be an RPM sensor, perhaps, because it would be right on top of the flywheel. And I have a feeling that's what it is, but I'd be happy if someone could tell me if I am wrong. So there we go. You can see the two injectors we have. It's a twin cylinder. And yes, this little bugger, if I can get it to clear up, even has little glow plugs. That's what this little red and black wire is for. And then again, I'm not too sure about this thing. Like this screw here, I don't know if this is very factory or not, but it's on a spring and you can push it in. I can't do it one-handed. It's a little wobbly. So there's our intake for the air. Then we'll move our way down, and we got our dipstick and oil filter. We got a filler cap here, and we also have a filler cap up on the top. So we can get in on this badge here. There you go, the TK270M, manufactured by Yanmar. There is one other sticker. It kind of gives me a few of the specs right there. So there you have it. I apologize for the shaky video. I am using a cell phone and it's not so good. So all in all, it's a pretty clean engine. I can't complain. I will do a little bit of sanding, and I'll be painting this thing with a high heat paint in gloss black. That is at least the plan. Hello everyone, it is day 2 on the paint project for the engine. It's swinging there all happily. So it just got one coat of paint. Now I'm not even going to zoom in too far because I have all kinds of runoff. It's very hard to paint something with that many edges and bumps and lumps and, you know, all the heat sinks and whatnot, and not get runoff, especially if you want to keep it all intact. If I would have pulled the entire block apart, I probably could have done a lot more decent job with the paint, but you know what, it's going into my lawn tractor, it'll suffice. So I'm just gonna give you a little walk around so you can see it all. Now you'll notice those brackets on the sides are not painted fully. I am anticipating cutting them off to mount it into my tractor, so I figured there was no use in wasting paint. Surprisingly, 1 can of the rattle paint was good enough to cover this, and then had some change left over. I bought 2 cans just in case, and I would say we got lots of paint to paint our tractor yet. I'm sure there'll be a few more components I'll want to paint this nice gloss black. So there you are. There she is in all her glory.